Hello everyone, this is Farhan Abid. Today I'm going to talk about lungs. We know what a lung is. Lung is an internal organ which helps us to breathe. Whenever we breathe in or breathe out, all these processes go into these lungs. But what are these parts and we do not know them, so we're going to learn about them. At first, we have this thing. What do you see here? This round thing, it is all called the voice box. As you can see the voice box, by the name we can understand that this is the part where we make our voice. I'm talking to you right now, but this vibration, all of it is coming from this voice box. It can be also known as larynx. It is known as larynx. As you can see, the respiratory organ does not start here, but it also has another part of the nostril. You can see, as you see, the nostril goes all the way there and there. As you can see, there are two nostrils here, and these nostrils go into nasal cavity. This is nasal cavity, and voice box or larynx divide this nasal cavity into a new portion. This new portion is known as nasopharynx. Well, let me write it a little bit more correctly. Nasopharynx. This portion right here. But Avid, you can see that this portion goes to this, but what about the rest of the portion? We have another name for it. That is bronchus. The area where the nasopharynx divides into two. But if goes to two, but it has many kinds of branches, it has another name. That is bronchiole. These are the branches. But there are also tiny shapes in the branches. These are called alveolus sac. These round objects. There are DNA type things around these things, but oh yeah, I forgot to say the lung. The lung itself is the inner side, but what about the outer part? It is known as pleura. And this DNA type object is known as ribs. This pleura is a spongy type object. Whenever we breathe in, the lung gets a little swell up or gets a little bigger. It may have collisions with ribs, so there is another object that stops that collision. We have another thing called the diaphragm. And you see this round object, guess what? It's the heart. But why is the heart between the lungs? We know that the heart is the left side of the body. That is incorrect. As you see, it is a little bit correct, a little bit incorrect. The lungs is directly placed in the middle, but you see the right lung is a little bit bigger. As a result, the heart, it is in the between. So if the right side is a little big, then it will get pushed in the left side. That's why we call it as the left side is currently right here. It's still a little bit left side, it's not in the middle, because the lung in the right side is a little bigger. We should remember that. So yeah, we have these things, but how does this respiration occur? As you see, O2 gets into the nostrils and nasal cavity. Voice box goes through the voice box, nasopharynx, and through bronchus. it goes into two objects. Both are same. I'm going to explain one. These alveolar sac, these contain special nutrients which like processes O2 into CO2 or carbon dioxide. So we get O2 here, and then CO2 retreats back. The process which O2 gets in is called inhalation, and the process where CO2 gets out is called exhalation. And by respiration, well, what is respiration? Respiration is the process in which food is broken down to create energy. I'm moving my hand. It is because of my respiration. If I stop my respiration, I cannot talk, I cannot move my hand. I can because of the stored energy. But if the stored energy runs out, no more moving. That's why people, when they get their heart attack or lung gets blocked, they cannot move. They get paralyzed, and when they get paralyzed, they get permanent damage to the veins. The veins are small electric type objects that send signal to the brain. Whenever I want to move my hand, my brain has to signal the nerves to move my hand. The nerves that move my hand, the bones, everything work together just to lift it. So yeah, that was all for today. Thank you for watching. We learned about lungs. Goodbye.